Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Intensifying Fights Stage 3 and how you can beat it, basically completing all the missions. Now the missions are pretty straightforward. You're looking at obviously Special Pose, you're looking at of course beating the event, and then of course there is an additional mission for defeating the event with Vegeta. Or defeating Vegeta in the event. So the big thing is, to be honest with you, not too bad overall in terms of getting Vegeta. Getting Vegeta is going to depend on the amount of rainbow orbs you collect in phase 2. So the first phase has you face Gohan and Krillin. Very easy, they're not too difficult at all. You should be more than fine here. If you're using this team build, you're going to want to stack a little bit with Raccoon to let him get hit, and then obviously Berta to let him stack, just so you can get a little bit of extra defense into them. Probably want to do the same in phase 2. But phase 1 is very straightforward, and you don't have anything additional to worry about in phase 1. So just defeat the enemy. You can see there what they're immune and weak to, and you should be more than fine. You won't have any major issues here. Then of course, we move into obviously phase 2. Now in phase 2 you do have an additional requirement. So in phase 2 you actually need to collect a certain number of rainbow orbs. So phase 2 requires you to collect roughly, everyone, I don't know the exact amount, but it's definitely more than 10 rainbow orbs. I don't know if it's 11 or 12, but you definitely have to collect more than 10 rainbow orbs during the course of phase 2. Now if you have a super high volume, high damage team, you may struggle to do this. So either tone down your offense or get units that create rainbow orbs. Now completing the Special Pose mission, whilst having a unit that changes rainbow orbs, can be a little bit challenging because there's no rainbow orb changer really on Special Pose. Well, I mean, there is, but like not everyone's going to have them. Phase 2, not too difficult, like as in the difficulty is not too difficult. This whole event here, not too difficult. Actually feels a bit weaker than the previous Intensifying Fights. Could also just be, myself. That could also just be the team that I built. This is obviously a free-to-play Ginyu Force team though, so again, you shouldn't realistically struggle immensely with this. If you have this free-to-play team. Obviously if you're like a brand new player, very likely could struggle, but generally speaking this was pretty straightforward. Once you have collected the right amount of rainbow orbs, when you access the next phase, turn 3, you will be faced with Vegeta. If you don't, you will be facing a different enemy. You'll have to redo the event. Once you face Vegeta, that's it. You're pretty much good to go. Defeat him and you're done. You can call it a day. Now obviously, talking a little bit about the team, talking a little bit about the fight itself. Overall, the difficulty of the event was moderate. Definitely would say that obviously if you have newer units, you're probably going to be more than fine. You don't need to have the latest Special Pose or Signature Pose category characters to beat this event and this category challenge. It's really not something that you need to have. Of course it helps. I think anyone will recognize that it helps. But generally speaking, you don't need them, to make things work or to get things done. Like you don't need the latest LR or anything like that to kind of make things work. All you need to have realistically is this free-to-play team. That's not saying this free-to-play team is easy to get. Obviously we have both Battlefield LRs here. That's a very expensive cost. If you're a new player, you're not going to be able to have LR Ginyu and LR Tech Ginyu. So you may want to then consider not using them, potentially using someone else, making your life a little bit easier. Now in terms of like the actual fight itself, all 3 phases were very straightforward. I think the whole no ceiling, no stunning thing is quite apparent with a lot of events nowadays, so don't plan building in for that to happen. By the time you get to Vegeta, you can't really do anything to him. He doesn't hit too hard. By my estimate, I think his supers range in around 400,000, and he doesn't really hit you super mega hard. with his normals or anything. So yeah, like I said, it's not a bad run. I think overall, if I'm honest, this was very achievable. The Ginyu Force team handles it more than fine. Obviously, depending on who you are, you may or may not have a better time attacking it. The big thing is going to be that second phase requirement, how to beat Vegeta, or get to Vegeta, I guess, in the first place. Once you are facing Vegeta, you are able to tank fairly consistently. I kept Jace on rotation so that I could see where the super attacks were. I also very often, like Berta would be pushed to floating. I will have the Int Captain Ginyu tanking as well, because that's pretty solid. And then on top of that, generally speaking, most times I would also pair up the Int Ginyu with the physical Ginyu. Just felt really good. Obviously the AGL Captain Ginyu, the friend lead, also really great to use. You can use his active skill transformation if you want to as well. Definitely highly suggest taking him if you're on the JP side. If you're a person that plays with JP, then obviously you have access to a different LR, just wink wink nudge nudge, which you can obviously use as well if you are that way inclined. It's entirely up to you. With that being said, to be honest with you, I just had a fairly good time. It was a nice fun event. I like these intensifying fights. I do think they could make them a touch tougher, especially when the event is called Intensifying Fights. Feel like it could be a little bit tougher, but I do think it's a decently challenging one. Special Pose also is not the biggest category, so I will forgive that. I will say that that's probably one of the contributing factors as to why it wasn't necessarily the go-to, why it may not have been as hard as it could have been. But yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much everything you need to know. If you do need any more help, you can let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, tons of incentive for taking on intensifying fights. There's a good chunk of dragon stones and rewards to obtain, so definitely give it a go. But this one was very achievable, free to play, with a couple tweaks, very achievable in general. Just remember that for the second phase, you need to collect a couple rainbow orbs, more not less, and you should be fine. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching. Bye.